Hi, I'm Jeff.
Hi, I'm Hanny.
Welcome to this month's Grammar Station lesson. Today, our lesson is split into two parts. The title of the first of these parts is A Learning Experience. The title of the second is Very Different Lives.
Right. The first part of our lesson features two characters, Tori and Dean. And part 2 features Angie and Chris. More on them later. For now, let's focus on part 1 of our lesson. Dean is trying to get into college. He has applied to the college in our lesson. Tori is interviewing him.
I hope the interview goes well for Dean. If things don't go so well, he might not get into this college, which would be sad, especially if Dean's dream is to go to this college.
That would be sad. Anyway, I say we get started on this month's grammar focus. When we come back from a short break, we'll start reading from A Learning Experience.
Yes, we will be. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at today's vocabulary. Then we'll start reading the conversation between Dean and Tori.
好，今天的课程有2段对话。在第一段对话中 ，Tori 正在面试一位要申请大学的应征者 Dean。Dean 的 GPA 分数很高，这表示他很聪明哦，但他却没有写出他参与过的活动。他就解释说，活动太多列不完。那么 Tori 就问他哪一项活动对他人生影响最多。这边用到3个单字 ，interview。Interview 它是指面试，在课文里面是当动词。例如 ，They have interviewed 30 people for the job. They have interviewed 30 people for the job. 那个工作职位，他们已经面试30个人了。下一个单字 intelligent。Intelligent 是形容聪明的，是个形容词。例如 ，Dolphins are one of the most intelligent animals.Dolphins are one of the most intelligent animals. 海豚是最聪明的动物之一。那第3个单字 influence。influence 它可以当动词或当名词来表达影响。那在课文里面是名词的用法。例如 Do you think that television has a negative influence on children?Do you think that television has a negative influence on children? 你认为电视对孩子有负面影响吗？好，那在第2段对话里 ，Angie 和 Chris 在比较他们的童年。Chris 说他在挪威的一个村庄长大，那边有河流，还有群山环绕，哇，听起来好棒哦。那么 Angie 则是在城市长大，这边同样用到3个单字 compare。Compare 它表示比较，是个动词。例如 Jenny's parents always compare her with her older sister. Jenny's parents always compare her with her older sister. Jenny 的爸妈老是拿她跟姐姐做比较。下一个单字 childhood。Childhood 它是指童年，是个名词。像是 The song reminds me of my childhood.The song reminds me of my childhood. 这首歌使我想起童年。同学们有没有听到哪一首歌就会想起小时候呢？好，来看最后一个单字 marvelous。Marvelous 它是形容词，形容很棒的、极好的。像是 They had a marvelous vacation in Rome.They had a marvelous vacation in Rome. 他们在罗马度过很美好、很棒的假期。好，现在看完单字例句，我们来读课文吧。
A learning experience. Tori is interviewing a college applicant.
Your high GPA shows you're intelligent, but there are no activities.
There were too many to list.
I see. Which one had the most influence on your life?I
learned a great deal while I helped out at the local animal shelter.
What did you do there?
I cleaned the cages, washed the animals, and gave them food and water.
Explanation 1.
Welcome back. Part 1 of today's lesson is titled A Learning Experience. Remember, this part of our lesson features Tori and Dean. Tori is interviewing a college applicant. That applicant is Dean.
好，第一段对话一开始，我们看到 Tori 在面试一位申请大学的应征者 Dean。那补充单字 applicant， 它表示求职者、应征者。我们把字尾 ant 改成 ation， 就会得到另外一个名词 application， 就表示申请书或是申请请求。Okay, Tori is going over Dean's application. She notices that something is missing.
She says,Your high GPA shows you're intelligent, but there are no activities. So, Dean is smart, that's for sure. But does he do things? Things other than just studying?
Oh, that's what Tori wants to know. A good GPA is not enough to get you into a good college. You've got to show that you're an active person who will do a lot of stuff while in college.
Sadly, Dean isn't one of these people. He's got a good GPA, but that's it. It says so on his application. No activities.
Well,
0.
Actually, Jeff, the exact opposite is the case. You see, Dean didn't list his activities because there were too many to list. He says there were too many to list.
Too many to list? Wow. That means Dean is smart and very, very active as well.
Right. Dean is sounding pretty good right now. Still, Tori needs to know more. So, you have too many activities to list, eh? Tell me about one, an important one.
Next, Tori says, I see. That is, she understands what Dean has just said about having too many activities to list. Then, she asks a question. She asks, which one of these activities had the most influence on your life?
And Dean answers her by saying, I learned a great deal while I helped out at the local animal shelter. Wow, what a great activity. Dean helped out at an animal shelter. Sounds like Dean is a good applicant and a good person too.
Yes, it sounds like he is a good person and an animal lover as well. He sounds a lot like Teacher Daphne.
大家好，我是 Daphne。今天的第一则文法是 a great deal， 意思是很多。deal 在这里是名词，数量、大量的意思。前方用形容词 great， 巨大的修饰，合在一起 a great deal 就是很多，为副词片语，可以用来修饰动词或形容词。例如Renee relies a great deal on her husband. Renee 很仰赖丈夫。又如 Tammy is feeling a great deal better. 谭美觉得好多了。第二则文法是 help out， 意思是帮忙。help 在这里是及物动词，意思是帮忙的意思。out 则是离开，合在一起help out 就是帮忙离开困境，为可分动词片语。例如 My friends always help me out. 我的朋友总是帮我脱困。
好，谢谢 Daphne 老师的讲解。刚刚 Dean 告诉面试官他参与过的活动多到列不完，那对方就请他说明哪一项活动对他人生影响最大，他就回答说他在当地动物收容所帮忙的时候学到很多，很会回答诶。那么 Animal Shelter 就是动物收容所。Okay, Dean just told Tori that he helped out at animal shelter.
At an animal shelter. Here's the question, though. What did Dean do at the animal shelter? We need more info. We need details.
And so does Tori. She asks, "What did you do there?"
Dean answers her by saying, well, I cleaned the cages, washed the animals, and gave them food and water. Okay. I get it. I believe him. It sounds like he did indeed work at an animal shelter.
Yes, it does. I think he has answered Tori's questions very well.
Me too. Okay, everyone. With that, it is now time for a break.
But don't go away, you guys. We'll be back soon.
Very different lives. Angie and Chris are comparing their childhoods.
Where did you spend your childhood?
I grew up in a village in Norway. A river ran through it, and there were mountains all around.
How marvelous! The city was my playground when I was a kid.
I liked my village, but I wanted to experience life in a big city.
When did you leave?
I left as soon as I turned 18.
Explanation 2.
Welcome back to this month's Grammar Station lesson. It is now time to begin reading from the second part of our lesson. Part 2 of our lesson is titled Very Different Lives.
Right, before the break, we read from a conversation called A Learning Experience. Dean and Tori were our stars. Now, our new stars are Angie and Chris.
Angie and Chris, we'll learn, have had very different lives.
Indeed. Okay, let's get started. At the beginning of this part of our lesson, Angie and Chris are comparing their childhoods.
Angie asks Chris, where did you spend your childhood? That's like asking, oh, where did you grow up?
Yep. Next, Chris answers her by saying, I grew up in a village in Norway. Then Chris tells Angie about his hometown there in Norway. Chris says, a river ran through it, and there were mountains all around.
Ooh, that sounds very pretty, very beautiful. I love small towns or villages, and I also love nature.
Me too. But I also like big cities. Cities might not be as beautiful as Mother Nature, but there is a whole lot to do in cities. Anyway, let's hear from Angie. She thinks that Chris's hometown sounds great. She says, how marvelous. Then she tells Chris about her childhood.
Right. Angie grew up in a city. She says, the city was my playground when I was a kid. So, as a kid, Angie played in the city, and Chris played in nature. What different childhoods they had.
Indeed. Chris liked growing up surrounded by nature. Chris knew, though, that the world was much bigger than his village.
Anyways, moving on. Next, Chris says, I liked my village, but I wanted to experience life in a big city. So, one day, he left his village.
Yes, he did. But when? When did he leave?
Good question. Angie asks this very question next. When did you leave? She asks.
And Chris answers her in the final line of today's lesson. Chris says, I left as soon as I turned 18. As soon as he turned 18, eh? I think Teacher Daphne might have something to say about this.
第三则文法是 as soon as， 意思是一点点点就点点点，为连接词片语，用于连接两个完整子句，主词加动词。用 as soon as 开头的子句称为时间副词子句，用来表示先发生的事情。另一句则称为主要子句，用来表示后发生的事情。例如 Eleanor washed her hands as soon as she came home. 艾莉诺一到家就洗手。第四则文法是 somebody turns age， 意思是某人年满某年龄。Turn 在这里是及物动词，意思是年龄满、超过。例如 The actor has turned 50. 这位演员已经年过50。
And we're back. But not for long, you see. With that, today's lesson is now finished.
Right. This month's Grammar Station lesson is now complete. As always, though, we hope to see you next month for another Grammar Station lesson. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
A learning experience. Tori is interviewing a college applicant.
Your high GPA shows you're intelligent, but there are no activities.
There were too many to list.
I see. Which one had the most influence on your life?
I learned a great deal while I helped out at the local animal shelter.
What did you do there?
I cleaned the cages, washed the animals, and gave them food and water.
Very different lives. Angie and Chris are comparing their childhoods.
Where did you spend your childhood?
I grew up in a village in Norway. A river ran through it, and there were mountains all around.
How marvelous! The city was my playground when I was a kid.
I liked my village, but I wanted to experience life in a big city.
When did you leave?
I left as soon as I turned 18.
Pizza. Yes.
Hi, everybody.
Pepperoni.
I'm Shane. Welcome to
Pepperoni.
Welcome to English in Action.
Oh my God, pepperoni.
Can we just give up?
Okay. Anyway, sorry. 刚讯号太差，他听不懂我在讲什么。
Okay.
Anyway, 欢迎来到 English in Action. 我是 Holly.
I'm Shane.
Yes.
Okay, so you get the idea, right? 手机讯号很差。
哎呀。
All right.
Alright, 这进入对话了。
对话。I am already here. Where are you?
Sorry, I've got bad reception. I can't hear you. Can you repeat that? Where are you?
What?
It doesn't.
You really?
Yeah. Anyway. Well, I've got bad reception.
Yeah, we have bad reception, but we're right next to each other.
Yeah. So
What?
reception 其实就是收讯的意思。
对，所以就是说 I have bad reception, or you could say I'm losing you.
哦，所以真的是要遗失你吗？我
就是 I'm losing your voice，就是好像你越来越远，我就是越来越 因为如果那个讯号很清楚的话，感觉它就在你的旁边。
所以其实就是声音一直断断续续的，所以你才会觉得我快要听不到，所以不是真的你要遗失谁。
对。Or you could say you're breaking up.
你要跟我分手
？No， 不是 we're breaking up。You're breaking up. The connection is breaking up.
OK， 所以其实是那个讯号断掉，
对，就是在断掉。
不是分手。OK，
对。
OK，
Okay, all right. So the reception between you and us is very, very clear and good.
We're not gonna lose you.
That's right. So if you have problems with English,
靠我们
就对了。
I've got bad reception.
I've got bad reception.
I'm losing you.
I'm losing you.
You're breaking up.
You're breaking up.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny， 欢迎收看我们1分钟的单元。在这1分钟时间里面，我们要复习6个单词，6个不是4个，是6个，还要造句练习，是个困难的挑战。同学们，你都准备好了没？我准备好了。1分钟计时开始。第一个单词叫做面试，面试怎么说？叫做 interview。interview 这个是当动词，它也可以当名词。那我们用动词造句 ：The director agreed to be interviewed。那位导演同意受访，他愿意接受访谈。第二个单词形容聪明的，聪明的不就 smart 吗？那我们学更厉害的，这是 I 开头，叫 intelligent。intelligent。Henry is hardworking and intelligent。Henry 又勤奋又聪明。第三个单词它表示影响，影响叫做 influence。influence 它也可以当动词用。OK，the book had a positive influence on him。那本书对他有正面的影响，这边我们就是用名词来造句咯。第四个单词表示比较，比较什么东西叫做 compare。How do these two hotels compare？ 这2间旅馆比起来怎么样？哪一间比较好？哪一间比较差呢？好，第5个单词叫做童年。童年怎么说呢？当然跟小孩有关，小孩是 child， 对不对？孩童后面加 HOOD 是一个时期 ，childhood 就是童年。John had a horrible childhood。John 有着悲惨的童年。第6个单词是非常好的，很棒，叫 marvelous。They had a marvelous time。好，再一次 ，They had a marvelous time at the party。他们在派对上玩得很愉快 ，marvelous 就是很棒。好，不管怎么样，我们在1分钟之内虽然失败了，但我们还是有复习完6个单字，然后也有造句练习。同学们也要多多复习哦，我们一起加油，下次见喽，拜拜。